the little I do understand of it is that it has the potential to be huge for mankind in terms of curing and treating people with a plethora of issues. But it also gets pushback from fundamentalists, from like religious quarters. So perhaps you can't be this brutal, but I can. So I'm just going to say it. Do you accept that as sort of nature of the beast when these people say, oh, it's unholy, you're creating these cells, you're playing God? Do you accept that as nature of the beast, that you have to deal with fucking morons like that? Or does it frustrate you?
I don't really think about it, to be honest, because all the research that I'm involved in, any research that I've seen in my career, it has to go through an ethics committee. It goes to a committee. Any piece of research, whether it's doing a clinical trial or whether it's doing some genetics analysis or maybe some gene therapy, whatever it may be, has to go through ethics. And an ethics committee is made up of multiple people, from priests through to lawyers, through to lay people. Lots of different types of people go on our committee, and they sit in a big room. The person running the study has to present that study to the committee, and they make an assessment. And that is part of the approval of every study in the UK. Actually, I think most countries really. I don't really know to be exact, but definitely in the UK. So from my perspective, I've always thought the ethics is priority. That is considered by an independent panel. I've never thought about the people who are against it, to be honest.
Like people campaigning and lobbying against it after that ethics committee. Do they have a similar thing in the US then? Because I feel like maybe the anti-STEM movement is bigger over there, but maybe it'll be like the anti-vax thing and bleed its way over here.
Yeah, they have something called an Institutional Review Board, IRB, which is basically the equivalent of a Research Ethics Committee, REC, which is here in the UK. So most countries have some sort of ethical board. There's an IRB in the States. So again, they have approval to do research. And yeah, I don't really think about it because...
Do you ever get pushback in these? Well, first question, I suppose. Have you've sat or presented in these ethics committees or...
I presented. I've never sat as a member of an ethics committee, but I had to present my PhD and project, and I was really scared. Actually, it was one of the most scariest things that I've done because I've never presented my own research before. I'd always set up trials on behalf of other people, or with a pharma company, or with the NHS, or whoever it was. So I was never actually doing. This is what I created. I was like, is it really shit?
Is there anything?
Be like,
are you familiar with any ethics committee presentations that were then not signed off? They were like, no, this is fucked. Like, why would you do this? Really?
Yeah, definitely. Clinical trials, sometimes, most things they're not completely no. They're like, we don't like this, we don't like what you said here, please rewrite it and resubmit. You have to rewrite the protocol, for example. Maybe the patients have got to travel 20 times in a week, and that's just too much. So they shouldn't be traveling that much. Can they stay in a hotel? Yeah, that kind of thing. It's kind of these logistical things that make things better for the people taking part in the studies. Also, there's obviously the safety side as well.
I was getting excited then. I thought you were going to say something like, oh yeah, there's a project 5 years ago, they wanted to grow arms on the back of terminally ill people on that aren't conscious, they're just stuck in comas, but then they thought that would not get signed off, right? But that would be a fucking crazy thing to present at an ethics.
Do you know what's really funny? You said that. I was chatting to my partner. We were watching the X-Files reruns. Yeah. And during the X-Files, there was 10 years of X-Files, right? And the kind of trope of crazy scientists creating gene therapy aliens, whatever, is in every other episode, right? And we were like, no wonder people in the pandemic don't trust scientists. This kind of this trope has been in science fiction for so many years. Of this underlying don't trust pharma, don't trust kind of medicine, don't trust scientists. Yeah. And every time we watched an episode, we were laughing. We're like, oh my god, it's another crazy doctor doing a crazy study, And so yeah, there's a kind of.
I suppose it's it starts off as a sort of cliche, lazy thing, and then I wonder if when they do the screenwriting for it, they go, how are we going to convince the audience that this person is a scientist? And then the writers' room go well, if we want to make it easy, just white coat and glasses, German accent,
evil, kills people. Yeah, perfect scientist. Yeah, that's the thing. It's funny, it's cliche, but unfortunately, the ethics committees I've been on are really boring. It's how many cups of tea do they get in a week? 5? That's not enough. They should have one every hour. Make it 10.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, it's nice to know that the ethics committee have solved any ethical concerns, that they can focus on just cups of tea and stuff. So just to be clear, no presentations for anything like the human centipede.
Not that I've been aware of. I need to put like a clause at the bottom of this. I've not been involved in every committee, so I don't know.
It's a really like political answer there. It's like, not that I've been aware. You're not fully denying it though, Paul.
Who knows what happens behind closed doors?